everyone, and welcome to Cassie's Kitchen Creations. I'm Cassie. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Today I'm going to prepare something that I actually saw on Facebook about maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and I've seen it pop up again. And I said I wanted to try it because I'm a stickler for soups. I really do like soups. I'm not a big fan of like elbow macaroni noodles, but I do like pasta and I do like soup. So these two things kind of go together. So we're going to see how well this turns out. They call it a one-pot cheeseburger macaroni soup. I don't know where they got the cheeseburger from, I guess from the ground beef, but we're going to see. So I have all of the ingredients out except the milk and celery refrigerator chilling. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start with our ground beef. So I'm going to remove the ground beef from the packet, and I'm going to place it in my frying pan, which I've already somewhat heated up. And I'm using our grass-fed ground beef. I'll just pull this packet off here. So we're just going to put the ground beef in. And I'm going to turn on my pan. And also I'm going to season this with like some ground black pepper. And also my favorite garlic and herb seasoning. Right. And these are the only two seasonings that I'm going to add to this. So you want to brown your ground beef. Once you brown the ground beef, you want to remove any of the excess fat. And I bought lean. I tried to get as buy my ground beef, and this is grass fed with less of the fat on it, so I don't have to drain as much. So it should be just pretty much the meat. Okay, the ground beef is browning. So now I'm going to add 1 onion. And I did half of the purple onion and half of the yellow onion. And also I'm going to add 2 garlic cloves. So I'm going to add the onions first. And you want to just saute the onions. And like I said, I don't really have any fat to pour off because I bought the lean meat. So then you're going to add your garlic cloves. And you're just adding the garlic cloves. So you want that garlic aroma. And this is going to be 1 pot. And so everything I'm going to that I have, I'm going to place it in my 5-quart boiler that I have here. And you're going to need 4 cups of beef broth. So I'm going to go ahead and get my boiler ready. So 1 32-ounce container of beef broth is going to be your 4 cups. And if you want to use the beef bone broth, you can use that as well. But I already have this in the cabinet. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to transfer my broth to my boiler. also going to add about a half a cup of chopped celery. Now this isn't in the original recipe, but this is the recipe that I'm doing. I'm somewhat modifying it. They also didn't add the peppers. I'm adding green bell peppers, red, orange, and yellow. A half a cup of the green, and about an eighth of a cup of your red, yellow, and orange. The cavatappi macaroni noodles, and you're going to need 1 cup of your noodles. And of course, if you would like to add more, if you want to double the recipe, you can. So now I'm going to add this ground beef. I'm going to add everything to my boiler. And I always buy my ground beef and I get the lean so I don't have to worry about the fat and oils. But if you forget to drain it, that's okay. It's just going to add more flavor to it. So now I'm going to transfer this over to my eye here. And to this, I'm going to add my 1 cup of noodles. Mix everything up really well. And I have a can of diced tomatoes, and mine has the green chilies. I'm going to pour just the liquid off because I really don't want the liquid from the can. And I'm going to add my diced tomatoes with green chilies to it. And this is just a 1 pot. Okay, you just add it all in there together. And it's going to like simmer and saute, and it's going to just be so good. Now, if you would like to add like some corn or some green beans to it, you can. The little sweet peas, you can add that as well. I'm not a huge fan of tomatoes, but they do add nice flavor when you add them to soups. Of course, I won't eat the tomatoes, which is not a problem. All right. So now that I have everything incorporated in the pan together, now I'm going to just simply place my lid on the pan, and I'm going to allow this to simmer until my cavatappi macaroni noodles are tender. And when they're tender, then it's ready because the meat is already brown. I've sauteed my onions. I added the bell peppers and everything to the 1 pot, and it's going to all cook together. It doesn't take long for your bell peppers. And so once the noodles, usually about 8 to 11 minutes on noodles. Again, the temperature on stoves value should vary, so always check your recipes when you're preparing them, you know, randomly to make sure that they're cooking. So I'm going to place this on the eye directly, and I'm going to allow this to simmer, and I'll place you on a brief pause. Now, when it's time to check it to see if it's done, I'll bring you back into the prep. Hello everyone, I'm back. So everything is ready. So I'm going to move to the next step, which is, I'm going to turn this down just a little. So now I'm ready to add the last 2 ingredients because my noodles are ready. They took like 10 minutes. And I turned it up a little just because I wanted it piping hot. So the next ingredient that I'm going to add is going to be 1 cup of milk, and you can use whichever milk you would like to use. So you want to add a cup of milk. And of course you want to stir it. Make sure you mix it good. And the next thing you're going to add in the normal recipe calls for 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. I'm using 2 cups of the Italian style cheese. That's because I like the white cheeses. And I do have some white cheddar cheese. But this one is low moisture part skim mozzarella, not smoked provolone, Romano, Parmesan, and Asiago. And this is going to be shredded cheese. And I did get the finely shredded so it'll melt a lot quicker. So you want to add 2 cups of whatever cheese you would like. Because you know, I always say do it your way. And your way is always going to come out right. So we're going to add our first cup of cheese. And I'm going to stir it up and let it melt. That's why I wanted it piping hot. So that it won't take so long for the cheese to melt. And this is going to be, it's going to melt the cheese and it's going to be so ooey gooey. It's going to be very cheesy. So that's my second cup of cheese. Now, I can pick this up and you can see the cheese. But just because I like the cheese, and as you know, I like the white cheese, I'm just going to add about 1/4 of a cup more of the cheese. I want it to be very cheesy. It's kind of like saying that you have a macaroni and cheese dish, but it's like a spin on it because it's called a soup. And you just stir it and you just let it simmer until it gets thick, until all of your cheese is melted, and then you're ready to serve it. So, I'll just place the lid back on and I'll let it simmer. And while it's simmering, I'm going to place these 2 ingredients back in the refrigerator. And I'm going to place you on a brief pause, and I'll invite you back into today's meal prep as soon as it's ready. Okay, everyone. I have also opted to add 1/3 of a cup of white cheddar cheese, and it's mild. 1/3 of a cup, because I already added 2 1/4 of a cup of the Italian blend, which are all the white cheeses. So I'm going to add this to it and let this melt. And then we're going to serve it. And I'll let you guys know how it tastes. So we're just going to let it simmer a little bit longer and let that white cheddar cheese melt. Since I bought it to put it in there, I might as well just go ahead and add a little bit more, right? Right. So you can never go wrong. So it'll make it extra cheesy. So I'm going to place this back in the refrigerator. And I'm going to place you on another pause. And I promise you, this time when I return, we're going to serve it up. And I'm going to let you know exactly how it turns out. Now, this is the cheeseburger macaroni soup recipe modified. Because on Facebook, it's just the ground beef. Season it how you want, salt and pepper basically is all they use, and the noodles, and they use the elbow macaroni noodles, and then of course, you know, they added some sweet peas, and there was some corn in it as well. I opted to go for peppers because I wanted to be a soup with the noodles and the ground beef. It's kind of, you can say it's a cross between hamburger helper and macaroni cheese, kind of coming together, unifying and making one pot dish. But I did do a little different. I added the peppers instead of adding the veggies. I will do another one and I will add some veggies to it. And also they used 2 cups of mild cheddar cheese. I used mild white cheddar cheese, and then I opted to use the Italian cheese mix, which I read off all of those earlier, because I like the white cheeses. That's just my preference. And I'm also considering doing one and adding pepper jack to it and see how it turns out. So this is a nice little dish that you can prepare. You know, when you're busy, it's how I see it. Like it's raining today and it's a soup day, and you don't want your traditional soups that you make. This would be a nice change to do this actual macaroni, cheeseburger macaroni soup. But I think I'm going to give it a different name. I'm not going to do cheeseburger because it doesn't taste like a cheeseburger to me. But I guess they give it that because you have all the cheese in it. So I'm going to place you on a brief pause and I'll pick you back up when it's time to do the taste test. Okay, everyone. The soup is ready. I have removed it from the eye, and I've also transferred some to a bowl. This is what it looks like. It's very cheesy. And so now I'm going to taste it. And it is a little bit hot, so don't do what I do. It's pretty good. I can really taste the cheeses. That's what I'm tasting for. Especially the Asiago cheese. I can taste it very well. It's very distinct. So I would say that this is a very good dish. I would highly recommend it. As I was saying, I think this is a really good dish, and I would highly recommend it. It would definitely be something to try. And it doesn't taste like your regular macaroni. It does taste like a soup, especially since you added the milk and the cheeses. And it's not as thick as the hamburger helper, nor is it dry. I think it's really good. Now you can serve this with yeast rolls, you can serve it with crackers, you can serve it with any of the breads that you would like, or you can just serve it as is. So this is going to be dinner tonight. I think that's pretty good dish. So thanks to all of you guys for joining me and allowing me to enter into your space and to make your day, bake your day, prep your day, cook your day my way. I greatly appreciate you. If you're a subscriber, thanks. If you just stopped by, we greatly appreciate you joining us. And if you would, please click the subscribe button and become a member of the Epic Bake family, as we say here on Cassie's Kitchen Creations. And also, don't forget to hit the thumbs up because that helps to push the videos out into the YouTube algorithm so that other people see all of the great, epic, fantastic, awesome, bake, no bake, prep, DIY apothecary that you guys see, right? So again, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. Always, always, always greet people with a smile. Greet people with a positive attitude. Greet people with positive vibes because we never know what trials, tribulations, toils people are dealing with on a day-to-day basis, nor do we know their mental state. So your kindness, your kind gestures, your smile, your positive vibe, your simple hello could be the only positive impact that they come into during the day. And that could change their perspective on things. So as always, treat others the way you want to be treated. Always go out and with a positive mindset, stay motivated, stay encouraged, stay enlightened, so that you can also pass those attributes on to someone else. So thanks again for joining me on this epic cheeseburger macaroni soup prep. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.